The heat is on. No, seriously, the heat is on. It's yet another blazing hot summer. High 80s. Last week it was all in the 90s. This is not the kind of 90s that I like to enjoy. Not the 90-degree weather, but the 90s shows, 90s world. Yeah, heat is no fun when it's in the 90s. Sometimes I really wish that the summer could be a lot more reasonable. Like simple 80-degree weather. Just between 75 and 85. That nice sweet spot of comfortably warm weather. It is so hot out there, it's almost impossible for me to do anything outside. And it's really tough for me to do Uber Eats too. It's extremely frustrating. I used to really like summer. It used to be my favorite season because not only was it the season that I got to go to the pool, but it was when my birthday was. And of course there was summer vacation when I was young. But now that I'm older, the pool's really not as fun anymore. Because the pool's always dirty. And there's always little kids there, and that can be really annoying. I'm actually glad that I'm 31 now, because then I can go inside during Adult Swim. But even then, even outside the pool, the kids can be really obnoxious. Yeah, and sometimes it's even too hot for the pool. I mean, when you get in the water's not the least bit refreshing. It's so hot that it warms up the pool water. It's really not fun. And it's not a good thing that it's warming up the oceans as well. That's really not good. We need the polar ice caps for a lot of things. If things get any warmer, things might go bad. Yeah, 90-degree weather is no fun. Those are the 90s that are no fun. But one kind of 90s that is fun is the 1990s. I was born in the early 90s. It was pretty fun having that big bulky computer to play all of my educational computer games on. It was fun having those big bulky old cars, which looking back it's really funny how their designs had no features that we have today. No rear view cameras, and there were hardly any cell phones back then either. All the cell phones they had were big, brick-sized. And we also had videotapes, video cassette tapes. Honestly though, I wouldn't be surprised if people still used video cassette tapes today for those who want the authenticity of the vintage flair of a VHS tape. I know some people really like that in certain settings, especially if they're a fan of like horror or vintage movies and stuff like that. Yeah. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like to keep this old webcam of mine. I like the vintage flair that it gives to the quality of my video. I mean, as long as you guys can hear me okay, and as long as I have a good connection to my computer, I really don't feel there's any need to get a new one. Yeah, time in the 90s was a lot of fun, but I really have to say, I was really lucky in the 90s because at a very young age, I was diagnosed with autism. You know, it really is sad. There are a lot of people out there who were not diagnosed with autism until they became adults. Then it was possible that many people thought that their behaviors or personalities might have been due to some kind of childhood brain damage or something. And that can be really insulting sometimes. I feel that I really hope that a lot of people will be more aware of the symptoms of autism and know the right things to say to an autistic person, especially when they're struggling through certain things. I know that I did a lot of and had a lot of behaviors when I was a kid that, looking back as an adult, makes me really glad that I'm grown up now. It really is amazing though. I've really changed a lot throughout the years. Like when I was little, I was a lot more of an extrovert. I made friends a lot more easily, and I was a lot more friendly and social. But I also had a lot of bad qualities as well. I was very bossy and always wanted things my way and didn't really care about others as much as I did myself. But as I got older and older, I became more introverted and I grew to like alone time more. And now, in my early 30s, I feel like I'm now an official introvert who's fine with spending time on my own on my computer, has a bit of a harder time making friends, but is a lot more mature and cares a lot more about others than myself. I'd say it's worth sacrificing a few old traits if it means you can overall be a better person, a better, kinder, more mature person. Yeah, it really is important to be mature. Yeah. Anyway, I'm definitely taking a break from animations for a while so that I can focus more on creating assets for future environments and working on improving my characters. But I'm glad I'm taking a break. I feel I've earned it. I'll still probably do like really short animations, less than a minute long, just to show off some characters and some environments. But yeah, overall, I'm just enjoying creating assets for my environments and just enjoying my art in a way that I always have, but without the stresses of making really big projects. Still looking to try to improve my skills through some tutorials online. It's a slow and steady pace. I really gotta say, the pressure to improve and the pressure to be better And the pressure to be good enough really can be hard on a person like me who's autistic. I really do try my best, though. I really wish that there was a way that I could find a job doing what I love. But for now, hopefully, I'll be able to be settled with a nice part-time job that won't be all that stressful and will give me some stable income, because I'm honestly really tired of doing Uber Eats. All that driving really is not good for my anxiety. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, subscribe and be sure to see my other videos. And if you want to see more of me more often, feel free to give a $2 monthly donation on Ko-Fi. Okay, bye.